I'm going to tell you a story. The first thing you have to understand is time does not work the way you think it does. You can call me Oracle because I'm the one who's talking to you. Welcome to the call. Alright. Moving on with a Book of Troth. There's one thing from the previous chapter that I didn't actually show you all, because I got all excited about the sample, and I just sort of like jumped to it. I also didn't give the example Blessing to Thunar that was put in there, but it exactly follows the 9-step formula. Maybe if someone down the road wants to comment and say that, like, look, I really would like to see the Blessing of Thunar, I'll make a later video. But like, for the sake of brevity, considering how long I tend to run, I just like cut it out. But here is so anyone who's like Christian, basically anyone who's watched enough TV to have seen this knows the sign of the cross, right? Boom, boom. So this is for this Troth yana, because it's a bhakti yana. It's a religion effectively. Like it's about a folk religion. This is their equivalent of the sign of the cross, and like, please, if you actually like adhere to this, please don't like rag on me for calling it the like equivalent, because it's a genuflection. Okay, everyone knows this genuflection. Not everyone knows yours. So it's basically like, whereas this is pratima, or a sign, a kina vajra, sign of a cross. This is a kina of an anchor, or not an anchor, a kina of a hammer. Specifically Thunar's hammer. So, whoop. So, whoop. That's your hammer. Now, nightly workings. Although not really essential to the true practice of the Troth, some folk like to orient themselves more regularly to the holy gods and goddesses. That is done at the occasional time of blessings. For those good folk and true, there are the workings that are performed every day and night during the course of the day. Upon rising, when donning the hammer of Thunar at noon, upon going to sleep. Greeting of Suna. Each morning upon rising, true folk can perform the greeting of Suna to greet the morning sun and put themselves into the holy stream of power flowing from the goddess Suna, the sun. That's similar to, in my opinion, that's basically for this yana, for this religion, equivalent to the Mott magic, which I guess you could view as at least semi-religious, aligning yourself with the magical current, which is usually associated with the north in Mott magic. Rise face east in this position. Now, if you know anything about runes, basically going in this position means you're assuming a position that is actually like the shape of a rune, because like, whoop, 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 that's a rune. So rise face east in that position. Hail Suna, light of hard newly risen. Hail to thee, who shed light and life on all our forebears, who shines on us now, and who shall shine on all our offspring yet unborn. Share with me some of thy light and might this day, that I may better fight in the fray and gain many goals. Alright. Hammer signing. Another holy work that can be done at any time, but which should follow right after greeting Suna, is the hammer signing. In this work, true folk can reach up into the holy light and might of the gods and take it and make it a part of themselves. To begin with, a person should visualize a bright shining ball of golden light 2 or 3 feet above the head. Then with the right hand, reach up to that light and make a fist, grasping the light substance in the hand, which should then be drawn down to the forehead. Touch your forehead, say tu or tear. I would say tear, personally, but like, that's just me. Then continue, pull the light down through the head and touch the mouth and say woden. Next, draw the light down in the column through the body and touch the solar plexus and say thunar. Then move the fist and the light containing it from the solar plexus to the left shoulder. Touch the shoulder and say Frey. Now draw the light across the body in a horizontal direction and touch the light to the right shoulder and say Freya. So what's interesting about this is this, while like the author clearly eschews Christianity, and probably to a lesser, like, it seems like his specific beef is with Christianity and has nothing to do with Judaism or with Islam. But um, basically, this this is a sort of almost a blend between a Kabbalistic Ein Sof Ser, drawing like basically drawing the presence through Keter down to down through Tipret to like here, but also basically pulling light through your crown chakra, third eye, throat, heart, down to your solar plexus, and then doing it like this. Like that's awesome. Just like core principles of other traditions that this clearly is not trying to use, but is still basically generally like using the fact that the nadis are there, like the channels are there, whether we use them or not. So that's awesome, at least to me. So, whoop. Here, what then? Tuna. Fre? Freya. Other workings. The further daily working related to the hammer is the hammer donning ceremony. This is really just a simple affirmation of will and troth that's repeated when the true or man or woman puts the hammer token on each day. It is, of course, quite common for true folk to habitually wear the hammer token either in a way that all can see or under their clothing. So once upon a time, I actually like effectively have what I would basically like refer to as graha harva verk tej manovi, which is basically totem activate shaman. Boom. Because like once upon a time I heard wolf howl in my head for a long time. That's basically like, as far as I'm concerned, me being like kicked awake by the wolf totem and being like, "Yo, kid, what's up? Yeah, that magic thing you're like convinced is real. Yeah, it totally is. Totally is. Totally is. You already knew that. I'm just sort of like giving you a little jump start because you're one of my boys. That's as far as like as I'm concerned. So like the reason I bring this up is donning the hammer of Thor. A lot of times like people will wear a cross. Like if you've ever read Patricia Briggs' novel, Mercy wears a little lamb. I used to wear a wolf like that. Chain kept breaking. Let's see. In either case, when it is put on, it is good to repeat a simple word spell. It's daily affirmation. Affirmations. Affirmations, and there was a wakefulness mantra that I learned. I think it was from Think Tank when it was still up. It's I'm seeing, I'm feeling, I'm alive, I'm awake, I am. It's pretty good. It's a very like, in my opinion, it's a very like useful mantra, especially like if you're trying to stay awake. It's really helpful, especially in the morning. It's a good way to start your day, I found. I haven't done it in a while, actually, other than just repeating it down. Simple word spells such as this day shall bring new wonders, great doings, boundless luck and happiness, and unending by the might of the hammer is perhaps most effective if it is said while holding the hammer token in front of your you at eye level. Enhanced visualization training. When you place the hammer around your neck and you can feel the power that is loaded into spread through your being. Creating kalpa, like creating your own rituals, and learning to be aware of Shakti in your various chakra. That's what that is right there. The food that one eats at any time during the day can always be blessed with the sign of the hammer. In each case of might and main of the hammer, its vitality and strength are projected in the actual food. At noontime, the true folk may greet and honor the sun as it has reached her highest point in the heavens. For victory is saluted with a simple word spell, Hail Sunan, the highest dwelling of heaven. When doing this is best outdoors, standing in the posture. Yeah, I got some holes in my clothes. It happens. I wear clothing a lot. Finally, when the true man or woman is going to sleep, he or she should repeat a word spell of special importance, special personal importance, and attempt to call upon the realm of sleep to bestow dreams of might and main. Doing a manisa before sleep to try to train yourself to start doing yoga nidra, or basically doing a prayer before you go to bed to start basically like inviting your body to start doing sleep meditation sleep, and maybe start training yourself in yoga asana, like dream state yoga. Like obviously I'm using like Sanskrit terms, but like that's essentially what that is. This is a really legit book, I'm just saying. All right, working the life tides. Let's see how quickly I can bang this through. Rites of passage. Throughout the life of any man or woman, there are tides, moments, and place when great transformations take place. These take place when one comes into the world and is made part of the community in the clan of Midgard. When one reaches the age of maturity, as true man or woman, can be helpfully responsible for one's deeds, etc., etc. All right. I'm just gonna like go through these, and like I basically have talked about a lot of these in previous things. So all right. Naming. This is Namastram Karoti. This is giving someone a name. Take pure spring water, sprinkle it on the head of the child, and give its name. I sprinkle this child with water and give him or the name Wah after her Wah. An example of this would be I sprinkle the child with water and give her the name Helga after her grandmother. And then you do a small whoop over them. In naming children, true parents should keep several things in mind, blah, blah, blah. Okay. A lot of Teutonic stuff. What else? Like, in my opinion, that's about parents' choice. I think the author should back off on parents' choices as naming their children. I'm just saying. Becoming a man or a woman. Giving a little boy a symbolic sword. Giving the girl a belt, girdle, or necklace, from which are hung tokens of past generations. It's a little bit sexist, but that's pretty standard. It's the equivalent of basically the trope equivalent of a bar mitzvah, as near as I can tell. Weddings. Did a whole episode on weddings. So like, yeah, obviously they have a whole wedding thing. Basically they in order the equivalent of I do in this one is I plight my troth in thee, which was actually really sweet. As is like I put my faith in, like I put my absolute faith in you. That's actually really sweet. Land taking. In our highly mobile society, we often find ourselves moving and taking up new abodes often. That is in many ways similar to the wanderings of folk during the semi-nomadic periods in history. We often feel negative effects of this lifestyle in the form of alienation. Our ancestors had a ritual way of alleviating this. It was a rite of land taking, land nama. This can be used for houses on lots as well as for apartments. However, it should be done without fail for a piece of property in which true folks actually bought and owned. That actually makes a ton of sense. Like, I mean, I'm paying a mortgage, so like I'm going to own this place. So like it kind of makes sense that I ended up starting my Mahalaya here. In the first part of the work, the land is marked off and bordered by fire around the edge of the land or building. I actually walked around my property burning firecracker sparklers, like fireworks sparklers. No, I'm joking. I also dribbled like a little bit of salt water. I didn't want to like drop a ton of salt on the ground because that's actually not really good for it, but like still, you know, a little bit of flicking it around. Then the whites of the set are called on to be friendly and to help in keeping touch with Frith and well-being. Making contact with your hearth spirit, essentially low-key making a Hasanamani, near as I can tell, or a hearth roll. The speaker holding a torch, fire pot, and lantern stands in front of the door of the house at the edge of the property. I come to take up this land and all dwellings on it in the name of and the names of gods and goddesses of our folk. Then the speaker makes a sign of the hammer and says, "The hammer of Thunar, hallow this land, and ward it well." The speaker then begins to walk around the property in a clockwise direction. Clockwise. Counterclockwise, I think. So, I believe clockwise is Diocel, and counterclockwise is Wedishins. Good stuff to know. If more than one person is actually taking the land, a relay can be set on which the fire is handed to the other person stationed at intervals around land. While walking the edge of land, the words "by Troth the land is taken" and "well it is worded" are spoken. I just put like some Chaya Pratibamba around the house to start doing that just because I felt like it. You can believe me or not, that's fine though. The speaker again standing in the shed where she began sets the fire down and before the front door at the gate of the property and says, "Glad greetings and hail to all you whites that dwell in this stead. We give you honors in the days of knights and Yor. Let there be among us frith and grith and not of strife." Here the speaker drinks a sip from a horn of ale and pours the rest on the ground before the dwelling and says, "Come, you whites, to get the gifts due to you, bring you wealth and weal, merry wit and mirth to this home." That's great. And it's like literally being like, "What's up? What's up, Hearth Spirit? What's up, Doma Boy? Have something to drink. Have a good time with us." That's really cool. The work is ended with the words, "Now the work is wrought. May this home and all that dwell therein know not but good, as long as the Troth has abode there with it. Those taking possession of the land should now enter and live in frith and grith with the helpful whites of the dwelling." All right. Death. Rites for the dead can be officially conducted by an altar of the Ring of Troth, or blah 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 blah. There are two major variations for the way in which the corpse is treated after death: burial and burning. It is more usual for those who are dedicated to the Wains to be buried, and those dedicated more to the Aces to be cremated. In either case, the usual final resting place of the remains are in a burial site accompanied by grave goods. Grave goods can actually be actual objects that the person cherished in life, or symbols of these. Traditional symbolic items include food and drink, preferably grains and mead, ale, or beer. Grains and madhya. Other items would be particular needs of the person in the remanifestation of the fetch and or mind hue to come. Weapons, magical tools, jewels, and gold, and so forth. Each of these items, just like the body being interred, has a subtle essence as well as an outer physical form. It is the subtle symbolic qualities that the true importance of the grave goods are to be found. When one of my friends died, I made a point of going and getting him shampoo body wash, because he said one time, he said, "If I want to smell like a pretty princess, like flowers and berries, then I will." I was like, "Okay then." And he died. I was like, "If you want to smell like flowers and berries, you better be able to." That's all I'm saying. The ritual formula for the funeral rite consists of 5 parts. 1, a hallowing, in which the gravesite is made holy. 2, a call to the gods and goddesses to whom the dead person was dedicated. 3, honoring their bhakti. I like that. The sending of the dead on his or her way, and the bidding of on farewell. 4, the drinking of the first wine cup, a toast drunk to their memory, such as would be drunk in Sumble. And 5, the leaving, which all bid farewell to the parted. In the drinking of the wine cup of horn, the worthy deeds and other words of honor are spoken by one or more speakers. This is most often done by a man's eldest son or a woman's eldest daughter. The raising of a runestone in memory of the person is also accompanied by many rites and ceremonies. These are usually conducted 9 months to a year after the date of the person's death. Interesting. All right. I'm going to hold off for now. This is Oracle, gonna sing myself out. Moving on after the next time throughout, and hope you have a good time so far. If you happen to be in New Orleans for a funeral, make sure not to stumble on your way to the bar.